Yo, what's up, guys? Let's go through some plays. So, already locked in a few plays on Underdog Fantasy. We'll keep this live stream pretty brief. Hopefully, Underdog Fantasy gives me the $100,000 that I bet for this $100,000 sweepstakes on Underdog. But regardless, without further ado, I'll keep this tight. Just going to look for some bets for tomorrow. So why don't we start out with Underdog? We hit a few plays from live streams on Underdog Fantasy today, which worked out pretty nicely for us. So had some losses, but we had this one, Eckler to score a TD, that cash, and then this was also from the live stream. 6x payout, 100 to win 600. But let's look, always looking for new bets for tomorrow. So the first play, I already locked in. Underdog didn't move it yet. But if you haven't gone with it, is Drew Holiday under 7.5, under 7 assists. So again, what's crazy about sports betting is all these books set lines independently. So all these sports books, they have really good models. They're taking bets, moving around lines based on where action's coming in. So if you just look at the OddsJam Sportsbook screen, you'll see every book has Drew's line at 6.5. Right? Pinnacle, Penny, Pinnacle, whatever you want to call it. Like most of these books, Caesars, FanDuel, all these books have Drew's line lower at 6.5 assists, and they have the under favored. So Pinnacle, which is known to be, one of the sharpest, one of the smartest sports books out there. FanDuel, $10 billion company, they're taking bets, moving around lines. All these books have Drew's line at 6.5. So getting under 7 on Underdog Fantasy, good value, right? There's all these data points telling us his line should be lower at 6.5. But anyways, I'm trying to keep this live stream short so I can watch my show. So let's just kind of go through this. So let's see what else is out there. What else is Underdog Fantasy recommending? Maybe we can get a nice little play for tomorrow. We can also look at PrizePicks. We'll look at ParlayPlay. We'll look at everything. I mean, wherever there's value, we want to bet. So again, typically when there's line discrepancies, but it's only between two sports books, I skip these plays over. So if we look at this play, so this is League of Legends, and we want to go to player first 3 map kills. It's like there's only 2 books posting lines, Hot Streak and Hot Streak and PrizePicks. PrizePicks has the line at 5.5. Hot Streak has the line at 6.5 with the over favored. But there's only 2 data points, right? So you don't really have strong confidence in okay, which book is screwing up. Again, positive EV betting is a very simple concept. You're kind of just admitting to yourself that you don't know everything. In sports books, these billion-dollar companies are pretty good at setting lines. Everyone wants to make money sports betting, but you got to realize you don't know everything. All these books have Holiday's line at 6.5 with the under favored. FanDuel has the under juice to -122. Pinnacle -125. So getting Holiday under 7 on Underdog Fantasy seems like really good value. I obviously put my money where my mouth is. I'm on it. But anyways, regardless, there's some esports value on PrizePicks. But again, a lot of these where there's only 2 data points, you can see all these rows are blank. It's only Hot Streak and PrizePicks. So it's I don't really know which side is right, which book is wrong. So I kind of skip those over. I like to see plays where it's really clear, which book is screwing up. So where do we want to start? So one play, here we go. So here seems like a really solid play that just showed up. Scotty Barnes under 7.5 rebounds. So let's go over to PrizePicks and let's take a look at this play. And we can start to build a slip. So again, on PrizePicks, it really does matter how many picks you're going with in your entries. PrizePicks only gives you a 5x payout. You're betting 100 to win 500 on these 3-pick entries, whereas Underdog is 100 to win 600, 6x payout. PrizePicks only gives you a 5x payout, kind of a ripoff. Underdog Fantasy is 6x, 100 to win 600. So on PrizePicks, you really don't want to play these 3-pick entries. They're horrible. But anyways, the first play OddsJam is recommending is Scotty Barnes under 7.5 rebounds. So again, like the way that PrizePicks works and what makes this platform very exploitable, what makes it easy to get an edge or, find profitable bets on PrizePicks is they don't change your payout based on the picks you select, right? So a simple example is any 2-pick entry, and I know a lot of people know it, but for anyone new, on PrizePicks, any 2-pick entry you create, you get a 3x payout. You're betting 25 to win 75. Doesn't matter if you take overs or unders, if you switch it to a different pick. So they don't change your payout based on you taking a player's over versus under. So the main strategy for beating them is you want to find spots where sportsbooks have an under or an over really heavily favored. So if you look here at Scotty Barnes, all the books, FanDuel, DraftKings, Bovada, Hot Streak, Pinnacle, like all these books are data points. They all have Scotty Barnes, heavily favored to go under 7.5 rebounds. So that's the good pick to go with. Just like the Lions are favored to beat the Raiders tomorrow, they're minus 355 favorites. They're more likely to win the game. We're using sportsbook odds as a data point to find sharp bets on PrizePicks. All the books have Scotty Barnes heavily favored to go under. You can kind of pull up like a little line movement chart here. All the books have Scotty Barnes heavily favored to go under, so that seems like a good play to go with. Then on the other hand, for Mark Williams, his over is heavily favored. So if we go back to the NBA, this seems like a good pick to go with. Again, PrizePicks will give you the same damn payout if you take him over or under, right? The reason you want to take his over is, again, just like we're following the data points in the market. All these books, Pinnacle, known to be the sharpest or the smartest sports book, they all have, all these books have his over heavily favored. So it's like, okay, that's a good pick to go with. So that's the second pick we can go with. Nothing else on PrizePicks on the positive EV tool. So we can go back to the fantasy optimizer right here, fantasy optimizer, and we can just kind of refresh and try to look for some plays. So if you go through the math behind PrizePicks, I have my little spreadsheet where I break down the payouts. This is the payout for a 5 flex play. What you'll see is all you got to do to be profitable on PrizePicks is be able to win these picks, just like Mark Williams over under 9.5, above 54.25% of the time, which, it's not easy to do. You got to win your picks 54.25% of the time. You got to win 55% of your over-unders, only losing 45%. So it's not like it's, so easy to do, but it's possible by just, again, like, why is this pick on, Scotty Barnes winning above 54.25% of the time, which makes it profitable in a PrizePicks flex play, is, well, look at all the books. They all have him heavily favored to go under. So that's the good pick we want to be on. So next we can look at some CSGO plays. Again, value can be in any sport. I always recommend bet on as many sports as possible. So this play, I don't love it for one reason and one reason only, is you always want to get the best line. So even though most books have Tabson's line lower, so this is a CS2 play, a league you may know nothing fucking about, but what's great about, sports betting is it's all about the data. I mean, sports is great, but 99.9% of people lose money sports betting. Everyone who bets on sports watches sports. Doesn't make you special. The way you're going to beat the books is with data. But again, what's great about esports is there's just so many games every single day. We only have one NFL game tomorrow. You look on these books, there's dozens of esports games tomorrow. More surface area for books to cover, more opportunity. So if we look at this player, Tabson, all the other books have his line around, 31.5, 29.5. So it seems like maybe PrizePicks has their line too high. But you'd rather bet this on JockMKT, the under, because they have the line at 32.5. So you're getting an extra half point of value. And again, value is how we're going to beat the books long term. So we can skip over that play as well. And we can look at this play. We just want to find 5 sharp picks to go with. Again, PrizePicks is a ripoff. So if we look at this play, esports, again, there's just so many games. This guy plays at 2 a.m. and he plays at 5 a.m. But if we look at the 5 a.m. game, again, what kind of sucks about betting on esports is just not as many books post lines. So you have less data points, right? When you think about betting on the NBA, like if we look at, if I switch my state to Alabama, which just lists literally every sports book, and I have a lot of them filtered out, is you're going to see for the NBA, it's like, we already have 10, 15 sports books with odds posted for tomorrow, and they all have Scotty Barnes heavily favored to go under 7.5 rebounds. So it's pretty clear, like, yeah, Scotty Barnes is a lot more likely to go under. That's the play we want to be on PrizePicks. Whereas for esports, not as many books post lines. But you can see here for this player, Jello, PrizePicks has the line at 25, Underdog at 27, Jock Market at 27. It's fucking crazy, right? Like the sports betting market is so fragmented, so inefficient. You think about the price of a stock, you go to Fidelity, E-Trade, Robinhood, whatever, Charles Schwab. The price of Facebook is $296.73. There's one price. What's crazy about sports betting and makes it, easy, not easy, but very possible to make money long-term is all these books, they try to do it themselves. They try to set prices. It would be like being a day trader if every platform, Fidelity, E-Trade, Robinhood, they all just had different prices for Facebook. It would be a lot easier to, be a great day trader. But anyways, regardless, still seems like a good bet. But we can look at some of these other esports plays. So like this player, Fallen, PrizePicks has the line at 31. All the other books, 30, 28.5, 29. In Hot Streak, like you got to consider what the juice is as well. Hot Streak, not only do they have the line 2.5 points lower, but they have the under favored. They have the under juice to -151. So it's like, okay, like this seems like a good play to go with as well. So we're just like using data to find plays with an edge. So this can be the fourth pick we go with. And then you can see here, I mean, there's a lot of esports value. Again, like I don't care what I'm betting on. If there's an edge, there's an edge. Here, PrizePicks, like this play again, we don't like it, or it's a second game. So again, these guys go hard. They play in multiple games. So the issue is we already have a play on Fallen. So we're not going to, you're not able to include players on the same team. In esports, you can't take players in the same game, both to go under. But anyways, we got some esports value. There's honestly a lot more esports value. If you want to play it, there's a lot of value in general on PrizePicks right now. PrizePicks is a really profitable book. You can make a lot of money on it, but the only problem with PrizePicks is they have pretty bad limits. So I'm just not able to bet a lot on PrizePicks anymore. The second, I started making pretty good money this year, you'll see like they have my betting limits pretty low. But anyways, we have a couple good picks we can go with. The next play we can look at is Bruce Brown, points plus assists. Again, like sometimes the value isn't in the main market. Sometimes it's not player points. Sometimes it's these derivative markets, points plus assists, where sportsbooks start to screw up. So you look at this play, Bruce Brown, PrizePicks has the line at 14.5. All the other books have his line at 15.5. Underdog, all the other fantasy sites, FanDuel has his line at 15.5 with the over favored. So it's like, like this seems like a pretty good play to go with on PrizePicks. Over 14.5. So we can go back here, right? And this can be our fifth pick. And again, you'll notice like PrizePicks, I mean, I literally try to bet $50, not an insane amount of money. They're like, you've been too profitable. The maximum amount you can bet is $25. So it's bullshit, but again, like that's the power of having multiple books. Is Underdog Fantasy limited me recently, but at least I can still get down. You can see right here a max bet size of $100, whereas PrizePicks is only $25. But hey, we found 5 picks with an edge, whatever, good to go. So we can go back here and we can look at some other plays. Might as well, right? Might as well look at a lot of plays right now. So we can go back to Underdog. Fuck it, why not? So let's look at this play, Danger. So this player, Danger, there's only 2 data points, so I'm not just going to bet the over 29 on Underdog because Jock Market has it at 32. So again, the fantasy optimizer is just pointing out discrepancies. You still want to so It's crazy, though. Imagine Luka's points line was 29 on Underdog and 32 on another book. You'd be like, whoa, that's crazy. So what you could do is you could bet the over 29, the under 32, middle bet it, kind of like buying a stock at 29 bucks on Fidelity, selling it at 32 on E-Trade. But again, that's not going to happen in the stock market. It's too efficient. But regardless, we can see if there's any plays we want to go with on Underdog Fantasy. And then we can go to ParlayPlay. I mean, again, the more books you have access to, the better. I don't know what books are legal in your state. In these live streams, I try to focus on the main sports books. You know, Fliff is legal in basically every single state. There's really not an excuse for not having Fliff. You know, it's available in, where's the map? I think it's available in like, I can't even find the map. It's available in most states, so this is a good sports book to consider getting. But again, all these books have different lines from one another, so you always want to have as many books as possible. Damn. So here's another play. So let's take a look at this. And this is on Underdog Fantasy. Again, you never know which sportsbook is going to, screw up on a given day. So the more books you got, the better. So let's take a look at DeJounte Murray. Underdog has his line at 27.5. There's some discrepancies in the market. FanDuel 29.5. But it seems like most of the value right now is on PrizePicks. So again, these two plays, we only have 2 data points. This play on Drew Holiday I already bet, so I'm not going to be able to bet it again. So maybe let's just go through some more PrizePicks plays. I don't see much value on Fliff for tomorrow, although I do have some big parlays. There is a lot of college football value. Again, depending on the books you use, like I use WinBet. It's available in my location, but depending on where you're located, maybe you have access to it, maybe you don't, but I already got a few pretty big parlays down on Win. So you can see I'm on Washington minus 160. Since sportsbooks opened odds for Washington USC, obviously a huge college football game next weekend, all the books have been ripping lines towards Washington. So I bet them in a few different plays. I have them in this parlay. I got the minus 160. You can see now the bet is still good at minus 170. Like Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, has them all the way at minus 205. So again, finding value, finding plays with an edge, like that's how you're going to make money long term. Here's another play I locked in, another little parlay, and I think there's some more. But regardless, whatever. This play, Washington minus 3, I locked in as well. So a lot of good plays available early. And again, like some people ask, like, it's kind of early in the week. Should I place this bet? And it's like, you got to remember, like great bets, they're not going to last forever. Things will get bumped. Lines will move. So getting these plays down early in the week is definitely a big benefit. But anyways, we can check out ParlayPlay next. Again, the more books you got, the better. So ParlayPlay is a platform, you can literally see your profit on the app. You can go to track picks history. I've only been using this book for whatever it is, like 4 months now, and I've been pretty successful on it. So the more books you got access to, the better. And you never know, again, which book is going to be screwing up on a given day. So let's take a look at this play. And ParlayPlay is available in most states. So we have Thompson. We got the boy, the rookie. And this play is clear as day, right? They have his line at 12. This platform works exactly like PrizePicks. Slightly better payouts, though. You can see they have his line at 12. Rebounds plus assists. You can look at any market you want on the sportsbook screen, but regardless, all these books have his line lower, right? PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, other fantasy sites that work in basically the exact same way. Again, all these books set lines independently. They have his line at 11.5. ParlayPlay's at 12, right? So those are data points telling us, maybe ParlayPlay's line is too high. And then all the sports books have his line at 11.5 with the under favored. So Fliff, Caesars, Betano, DraftKings, all these books have his line lower at 11.5 with the under favored. They have the under as the more likely outcome. So getting under 12, and you can see I'm up $3,800 profit, which doesn't seem that great, but they only have a max bet size of $60. And also, I had some pretty shitty bad beats on this sports book so far. So hopefully we get back in the wins column. But regardless, this is a great play to go with. And I'm sure we'll find some more picks. So we have Thompson under 12, rebounds plus assists. Again, very simple product, this fantasy optimizer. All it's doing is reading in lines from all these sports books, Underdog, PrizePicks. All these platforms have tens of thousands of lines available. Most bets suck. Most bets don't have value, right? There's not enough value to beat the vig, beat the juice, and be profitable. Underdog, you can see they have thousands and thousands and thousands of lines up. So OddsJam is just reading in all this data, all these books set lines independently, and pointing out like, hey, here's where a book is fucking up a line. Hey, here's where another book is fucking up a line. So anyways, the next play we got is Isaiah Stewart over 22.5 PRAs. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Pistons game. So what we can do is we can go back here and we go to points plus rebounds plus assists. And let's take a look at this. Isaiah Stewart, right? Every book has his line at 23.5. It's like, what is ParlayPlay doing? It's like if you check Fidelity, a stock is 23.50. E-Trade, it's 23.50. Yada, 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 yada. And then you can buy it at 22.50. It's like, that's a fucking no-brainer. Just use your brain, follow the data, make money. So these plays pair pretty well together too, right? Like if Thompson's going under, Isaiah Stewart's more likely to have, assists, rebounds, all that good stuff. So then we have Vukovic under 2.5 assists. So again, like it's the same concept. This ParlayPlay platform, they give you same damn payout if you take a player's over or under. So if you go here to the Bulls game, this is just one data point. Flip, right? It's a multi-$100 million company. They have pretty good models. They're pretty good at setting lines. They're taking bets, moving around lines based on where, action's coming in. They know which other customers are profitable. They're moving lines, based on where all the action's coming in. It's not just one book. Every book has Vuk heavily favored to go under. So that's the more likely outcome. And again, on this ParlayPlay platform, like they're going to give us the same damn payout if we take the over or the under. So if all the sports books are telling us, yo, he's a lot more likely to go under, that's the pick you want to be on. And again, the reason you don't play these shitty 3-pick entries on ParlayPlay is they give you bad payouts, only a 5x payout. Whereas again, on Underdog Fantasy, they're giving us a 6x payout, 100 to win 600. This is the type of stuff that really matters long-term in terms of your profitability. 5x payout versus 6x payout. It may seem like, oh, what's the difference? But it's a huge difference long-term in terms of your profitability. So here we got another play. Let's go back to esports. So we have Dementor, 29.5, 27, 28, 28. So another great play. Again, esports is amazing because there's a ton of games, but what kind of sucks about it is you just have less data points, right? There's less data points. So ParlayPlay has this play on Bruce Brown that we already went through as well. So it's like, okay, let's go with this. And we're starting to look at a pretty nice entry, right? And then we have Desmond Bane under 10.5 rebounds plus assists. So like, if you take your gut out of sports betting, just place 100 bets, all with data, right? Compare the lines on ParlayPlay to DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars. Look for, value in the market. Just see how it works out for you. I can almost guarantee you. And again, max bet size of $60. This is why sports betting sucks, right? These books have max bet size $60, whatever. Like that's what makes sports betting hard to make money. So you can see this play on Mark Williams is also available on ParlayPlay, but I filtered it out when I was looking at PrizePicks specifically. But ParlayPlay has a bit better payout. So what I can do is I can put ParlayPlay back in. Where are you? Here we go. ParlayPlay is here. We have this play on Mark Williams. All the books have his over heavily favored. That's the more likely outcome. That's the play we want to be on ParlayPlay. And you can see, like, when I talk about bad beats on ParlayPlay, it's like, we're 4 for 5 here. This play was incredible at the time. All the books had his line at 280 passing yards. Homie ends with 88. Houston sucks. Never bet on them. But regardless, like 60 to win 2.4K, the optimal slip type is 6-pick entries on this platform. So ParlayPlay, all the books have Mark Williams heavily favored to go over. That's the sharp pick. That's what we want to be on. And we'll go back to PrizePicks here in a second, but I mean, sometimes there's value. It's not surprising when there's value on, no, that's not what I wanted to do. It's not surprising when there's value on, oftentimes if a book screws up like player points, you'll often see they're also screwing up points plus assists. So we already have a play on Isaiah Stewart, but they're also screwing up his points plus assist line. Well, actually, let's see. So they have his line at 14 right here, right on ParlayPlay. And again, the same concepts for making money apply to any book. Right? So even if you don't use ParlayPlay, you're like, oh, I only use PrizePicks. Same concepts apply to any book. I don't know why you don't use ParlayPlay. All these books have $100 sign-up bonuses. Takes 2 minutes to sign up. They give you $100 for free. Like, you should be using as many books as possible. But if you look at Isaiah Stewart, Underdog has his line at 15.5. Even if you don't use Underdog, that's $1 billion company. No offense, they have a better model than you. They know more than you. They have better data feeds than you. They also have access to betting volume. They know what the sharps are on because they're taking bets. They know which of their customers are profitable. They have the line at 15.5. Every fucking sports book has his line higher at 14.5 or 15.5. So it's clear getting the over 14 is an absolute no-brainer. We're using data to our advantage. Gordon Hayward, over 23.5. So Gordon Hayward, though, I don't want to take his over because I already have this play on Mark Williams. So I'm not going to take 2 Hornets players, both to go over. But what I can do is I can take Bruce Brown. All the books have his line at 13.5 points. Tyus Jones under 1.5 steals plus blocks. So it's kind of an amazing thing. Every day I wake up, I just place a bunch of bets with an edge, and then I just let the math work itself out. I have fun watching games. I know I'm going to make money long-term because the data never lies long-term. It's just how it works. Jalen Williams under 4.5 rebounds. Let's go. The only thing you want to be careful about on these platforms is taking picks on players, on the same team. Like these plays, none of these players are on the same team, so there's nothing to worry about. But when you're playing players on the same team, like that's just something to think about. Kristaps Porzingis, under 11 rebounds plus assists. You look right here, all the books have his line at 10.5. So it's like, okay, we found another play with an edge. Keep it simple. Find plays with an edge, lock them in, make money, call it a day. So we have Porzingis under. What are you talking about? So this is bullshit, though. They're telling me we're going to reduce your payout because you have picks in the same game. Like, I literally added this. They're giving me a 20x payout for my 5-pick parlay. If I add Porzingis under, these motherfuckers try to give me a 20x payout once again. It's like, how does that make sense? So you got to be careful because these books are shitty and they will try to reduce your payout. ParlayPlay is supposed to have a 40x payout. If they try to be like, oh, you have picks in the same game, we're giving you 20x, don't play that. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. So if we go here to Dell, right, all the books have his line lower, 27.5. Again, like PrizePicks, no offense, even if you watch CSGO, they have a better model than you. This is their full-time job. And most importantly, they're taking bets from everyone else betting on CS2. They're taking all those bets and using that to shape where they're setting their lines. PrizePicks isn't fucking dumb. If everyone comes in and starts hammering the under 25.5, all the sharps, all their profitable customers, everyone who makes money off PrizePicks starts taking the under, they will eventually move the line lower. So everything is baked into the market, lineups, where sharp action is coming in, all that sort of stuff. Which is why, you want to use market data to kind of to your advantage. So anyways, we could hit shit on PrizePicks on ParlayPlay all day. There's a ton of plays with an edge. We'll see if there's anything on Fliff. Do I have Fliff even selected? It's a little weird to not see any plays on Fliff because I'm used to Fliff being a pretty good book. So if we go back here, I do have Fliff selected. Let's make sure I don't have it filtered out in my settings. And I do. What am I doing? I have Fliff filtered out. I'm an idiot. So you can see there are some plays on Fliff for tomorrow as well. Ton of opportunity on PrizePicks. So there are some good arbitrage bets as well. Arbitrage betting is how I started sports betting. It's a great strategy. And essentially, you're just day trading the books. Again, all these books set lines independently. So sometimes they get so out of sync with one another that you can bet the over on one book, the under on another book, and make a risk-free profit. That's arbitrage betting. So we can go through an example very briefly, and it's not glamorous, but it's free money, and you just have to do it a bunch of times. And again, placing a bet takes 20 seconds, right? 20 seconds to place a bet. This isn't, that hard to do. So Trae Young over 9.5 assists is minus 108 odds on Caesars. So again, this is how I started sports betting. It's by far the easiest way to make money sports betting. You just have to know how to move quickly, how to navigate the sports books to get down these bets before shit gets bumped, before lines move. But arbitrage betting is literally risk-free money. So minus 108, like you can see, there's this massive discrepancy between Caesars and FanDuel. Minus 108, minus 146. So because these books have such different odds, you can bet the over on one book, the under on another book, and make a risk-free profit. So again, this depends on your bankroll. When I started arbitrage betting, I was arbing things making $3 risk-free, and I would just do it dozens of times a day, make $100 a day, grow my bankroll when I started sports betting like 6 years ago. But whatever. Let's say you have $500 on Caesars, right? You put that into the arbitrage calculator. It's going to tell you, hey, bet $450 on FanDuel and you'll make a risk-free $13. Again, it's not glamorous. This arbitrage bet, it's not like it's 15%, but it's free money. This is your $13 richer. So you just kind of follow the calculator, round up on FanDuel to $450, which makes sense. And then you can kind of go through the math and just see like, okay, if he goes over versus under, what does our profit look like? So if he goes over on Caesars, you win 500 times 100 over 108, right? You said you wanted to bet $500 on Caesars at minus 108 odds. So your profit is 500 times 100 over 108, 463. On FanDuel, you lose 450, which is what the calculator tells us to bet, 450. Net profit, $13. If he goes under, you lose 500 on Caesars, but on FanDuel, you make 450 times 1.14, right? You bet 450 at plus 114 odds, you make $513. So you're day trading the books, inefficiencies in the market to make a risk-free profit regardless of the result. So if Trae Young goes over or if he goes under, you make money no matter what. But anyways, there's a ton of bets on PrizePicks, but I'll call it a day for now. Hopefully this live stream was helpful, and thanks so much for your time.